Alrighty, good evening, everybody. We welcome you to game two of our doubleheader as we are getting ready to get things going here this evening. We are 7:38 as we get going here for another 7-inning contest, which we are about to have. Well, anyway, gotta say, John Baker is here with us, and we'll turn it over to him as he will bring us our second game here on this Wednesday night. Thank you, Bob, and yes, greetings again for the second time here at Wolf Stadium as we get ready for game two of our doubleheader. Well, we now take you down on the field as we present you this game. And yes, the sun beginning to set on this evening as we get ready for game two. Missions and Sod Poodles about ready to go. And so far going to be a pretty interesting game as we get ready to go. Eric Yost coming in for game two as a right-hander, four-seam, a fastball, curveball, cutter, changeup, and a sinker. Getting ready to go for San Antonio here in this one. Center fielder is Jack Hurley as we get ready to go. Game two, top of the first inning for the Sod Poodles. And the pitch, that one is right there, high in the air. And we are underway. A fair ball, and that will get down for a no-out single. And we are underway in this one. Angel Ortiz coming in. And they'll throw back to first in time. Is the runner. Just making sure that they know where he is. The pitch and in for a strike. The count now at 0-1. So far, Rough Riders leading 3-1 against Tulsa, top of the second inning. Corpus Christi leading Arkansas 2-0, top of the fifth inning. Top of the second, Wichita leading Northwest Arkansas 5-2. Ball one, the count now. So far, a pretty good end to the last game. With San Antonio winning today by the final of 5-1 in game one. And the pitch. That one's right there. Line drive straight away center field. That's a base hit. First two get on, and so far it's pretty good when base hits come in, and that will just tell you how good they could become getting them across the plate to score. Danny Soretti coming in. Don't forget, tomorrow is Flying Chanclas and Sod Poodles. Amarillo wearing their road grays tomorrow. San Antonio wearing their Flying Chanclas gear both Thursday and Friday. Foul ball! Right there, foul ball. The count now 0-2. Still hanging on is Danny Soretti. And that's going to be right there. Line drive, base hit. And that'll bring in a run. And that is for Amarillo. They come in across the score on the RBI single. And that will put them out in front by 1-0. Early on in the ball game, here in game two, Manuel Pena coming in. And the pitch is in for a cold strike. The count now at 0-1. So far, looking at Amarillo, and we'll say we'll get that going. Sod Poodles 5-11, San Antonio 8-8. We got three teams that are 8-8. Frisco, Corpus Christi, and San Antonio are all tied for a pretty good position. If San Antonio can win this one here tonight in game two, they'll advance to second, putting Frisco down in a big one. That one high fly in the air, and that is out number one.
No.
And they tried to get him out at third, but evidently the one out comes in. Game two starting lineups here for the visiting Amarillo Sod Poodles. Hurley, Ortiz are ready. Be the leadoff three. Kenya, Waldschmidt, and Vukovic will be middle three. Fernandez, Luis, and Serta will round it out for the Sod Poodles. Ryan Waldschmidt coming in. And before the first pitch, they'll throw and make sure that he's back in standing. And here's the pitch. That one is foul. And the count now 0-1. 9 innings tomorrow. Flying Chocolate Thursday. Then Friday, join us at the ballpark as we have $2 Dr. Pepper and Flying Chocolate baseball during that evening. Series will continue on Saturday night. Post-game fireworks after the ball game. Sunday is Bark in the Park, presented by our pet supply places. Right there to second for one, and they got him. A Taco Bell double play, and that ends the inning. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and they leave one on base. Bottom of the first inning here in game 2, and Sod Poodles lead it 1-0. About set to go for the bottom of the first inning for San Antonio right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Spencer Geisting coming in now as he's a left-hander. The four-seam slider, curveball, changeup, and a two-seam fastball gets going for Amarillo here this evening. In for game two. Gotta say, pretty good as we get going. Here is the shortstop, Francisco Acuna. Boy, and gotta say, more and more come into this ball game as they did the first one. It's in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Just absolutely love coming and joining and being a part of the San Antonio Missions ball group. And that's going to be right there, line drive. That is down for the base hit. And Francisco Acuna getting in with a no-out double. And Acuna just got you double meat cheeseburger coupons courtesy of Whataburger. Wow, pretty good line drive by Acuna as he gets in there for the base hit. And that is something to be happy and proud of. Center fielder is Kai Roberts. As he comes in. A lot of humidity here today after the recent rainstorms we've had. And that is in for a strike. Or actually, no. That is a ball. And the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody out, 1 on. And that's in for a strike. The count now 2-1. San Antonio, after this homestand, will head to Oklahoma. They take on the Tulsa Drillers. They're at DCJ Field. San Antonio back on May 5th, taking on the Midland Rockhounds. It's also my birthday week coming up. Well, happy early birthday. And you're 33 years old? Yep. Two balls, 2 strikes by Kai Roberts. And that's going to be a liner, and they're going to get down. They're going to send him from second. And they're across the score. And San Antonio and Amarillo are both tied 1-1. What a beautiful line drive base hit. That was a RBI single. And that'll tie us up once again. The catcher is Ethan Salas. As he comes in, we'll take a ball outside. The count now 1-0. So far, 8 ball clubs tonight. Tulsa at Frisco, Amarillo at San Antonio, Corpus Christi at Arkansas, Wichita at Northwest Arkansas. Going tonight. Midland and Springfield went early this afternoon around noon. Rockhounds winning 7-1 against the Cardinals from the beautiful Springfield, Missouri. That is right there. Gloved by the second baseman for the out. And there is 1 down. With that, let's give Game 2 starting lineups. Acuna, Roberts, and Salas will be the first 3. Sanabria, Carpathos, and Fabian will be middle 3. Vertigo, Murphy, and Castagnon will be the last 3 in the order. San Antonio first baseman, Romeo Sanabria. Coming in this one. So far, pretty good. And that is in for a strike. And the count now 0-1. 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first inning. Sun and clouds mixed. And as we get evening going here tonight here at the ballpark. Gotta absolutely love how a baseball evening in the month of April just makes things just unique in a special way. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 first basemen, Sanabria. And that is called third strike. He got rung up to dry. And that is out number 2. Right fielder is Braden Carpathios. He had an extraordinary series last week there in Midland. Yeah, he sure did. He hit a pretty good home run, a 3-run shot to right field. And boy, I tell you, that Sunday game in Midland, that was beautiful. It was. No doubt about it that this kid can actually hit a ball outside this baseball park. Yeah, they sure can. He is one heck of a prospect, and maybe Carpathios will get up to AAA El Paso or something. Yeah, I guess he would. He'll take a lot of work. And despite the fact that before you get up and get going, you know, you got to complete your goal here in AA. That is to make sure that you are growing in confidence. Because they're not just going to send a no-confidence person out into a AAA organization. Yeah, that is true, John. I mean, you got to start in the pros before you get going. Right there, the force out at second will end the inning, but Kai Roberts will get the tying run up to score on an RBI single, and that pretty much does it. Top half of the second, we're tied at 1-1 as A.J. Vukovich will lead it off for the second inning for the Sod Poodles. Bounce at the go for the top half of the second inning. Right now, the Mission's Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. AJ Vukovich coming in now as we lead off the top half of the second inning with a swing and a miss. The count now 0-1 as Yost throws his first pitch. And the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike the count. And the pitch.
Ball.
And that's outside for a ball. The count now at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Looking in is Eric Yost. As that's in for a strike. The count now 1-2. 1-2, one more time. Swing and a miss. Got him. And that is out number 1 as Yost gets him for out number 1. Jose Fernandez coming in as he'll punch in a strike. And the count now at 0-1. No balls, 1 strike the count. And the pitch. That one fouled in the way. And still hanging on. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Here he goes. And that one is high in the air. And it just misses the foul pole. Just by a few inches. Boy, sure glad it didn't hit it, because it should have been a home run for Amarillo. That would have probably been an absolute nightmare. But he'll get a pitch clock violation on top of that. Here's a 1-2 delivery. And that's a swing and a miss. Blew it right by him for the second out. And boy, they are really, really getting them going. Denzel Lewis coming in now as he'll hit that one foul. The count now 0-1. Sun peeping through those evening clouds and casting a orange hue. 7 innings in this game for game 2, and that is pop foul. The count now at 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the second inning for Amarillo. And the pitch. Called third strike, and they got him. And that ends the inning. So no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on. And we're going to the bottom half of the second inning. We're tied at 1-1. Bounce at the go for the bottom of the second. Right now on the Mission's Baseball Network. 6-hole batter, Albert Fabian coming in. About ready to go. We'll take a strike inside. It's the count now, 0-1. And that's in for a strike. The count now at 0-2.
Ball down low.
And that one's down and in for the ball. The count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball straight away to second base. Throw him out at first in time for the out. And there is one down. Rosamond Verdugo coming in now. Got some beautiful orange and blue as we look at the evening sky. Always a pretty good evening when coming out to a ball game and enjoying the atmosphere of others. 1 ball, no strikes. And that is right there, back to the mound. And out number 2. And that is 2 quick outs for San Antonio here in the bottom half of the second inning. Left fielder Kai Murphy coming in. And a pitch. And that one's going to be high in the air. And just a few inches. By golly. Could have been a home run by Kai Murphy. That one straight away. Ground ball up to short in first. And plenty of time. And that will do it for the half inning is over. No runs hit to Rivers and nobody left on as we head to the third. We are tied 1-1. So Amarillo will have Christian Serta to lead it off for the Sod Poodles. And it's a 1-1 ball game. About set to go for the top of the third right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Christian Serta coming in as we're just about set to go for the top of the third inning for Amarillo. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now at 0-1. Corpus Christi leading Arkansas 2-1 there in beautiful All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock. Wichita leading 6-4 against the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Here's a 1-1, and that is chopped foul. The count now 1-2. Frisco in their doubleheader leading the Tulsa Drillers by 6-1. That's a pretty good game there at Statesman's Park. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off, and the count now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. And that is still foul. So still hanging on for that one. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. And that's at least 2 up, 2 down here in this one. Or should I say 1 down. Yeah. Are your eyes playing tricks on you, John? I don't know. They probably might be. Jack Hurley, the center fielder, is 1-for-1 single. Yeah, I mean, you were right all along there, Bob. I mean, it was 1 out. I said 2, but I stand corrected on that one. No balls, 2 strikes. As home plate umpire Jeff Andrews getting in there. 0-2. Swing and a miss. They got him. And what a way to get that one going. It's pretty good. Boy, it's top half of the 7th inning there in Arkansas. Corpus Christi leading 2-1 against the Travelers. And did he go? Yeah, he did. David Neuenhouse just said he went. And that is for a strike. The count now 0-1. Ortiz is having a home plate umpire talk with the home plate umpire Jeff Andrews, and he said he didn't like that call. Well, who cares? Up to left field, and that will do for the half inning is over. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on as we go bottom of 3 and still a tie ball game. So about set to go as Marcos Castañon will lead it off for San Antonio when we come back. Now set to go for the bottom half of the third inning. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Marcos Castañon coming in. Last of the order down in the end of the lineup cards. Castañon is 0-1 the count now. And the pitch. That one ground ball straight away. Second base. Throw him out at first. And in time for out number one. Lineup cards turned over now. Francisco Acuna, the shortstop, coming in. 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. Still a lot of innings to be played. That is right there. Glove to the third baseman for the out. And there's two down. Kai Roberts coming in now. Pretty good on that. And the pitch, the curveball is down and in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Starting to get that beautiful orange hue as the nighttime starts to creep in. Center fielder is Kai Roberts, 1 for 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Wind blowing from the center field area. Getting a nice baseball breeze here tonight. Gotta absolutely love this type of atmosphere when the game is going on. That is right there, line drive, and that is, ooh, boy, that could have been a fair ball right there.
Ball 2.
And that is ball 2, so the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the third, 1-1 tie. And that's going to be right there, straight away, in time by a footstep, and that ends the inning. So, no runs hit to errors and nobody left on for San Antonio. We head now to the 4th inning, and we are deadlocked at 1. So about set to go as Danny Soretti will lead it off with Pena and Waldschmidt will follow in from behind. So top of the 4th inning, tied at 1. Now set to go for the fourth inning right now for the Sod Poodles, the San Antonio Missions Baseball Network. Danny Soretti coming in now.
Down.
Welcome you to the ball game, to the top of the fourth inning. Our proud sponsor is West Creek Trail Ride San Antonio here in this one.
Ball 2.
And that is in for the ball. The count now is 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes. And that is in for a strike. The count now 2-1. Two and one. And that is in for a strike. The count now 2-2. Two and two. Swing and a miss. They got him. And that is an out right there. First one here in the top of the fourth inning. Don't forget to call 210-616-6585 to book your reservation for West Creek Trail Rides. Any day of the week except Mondays. You want to go horseback riding, which that is pretty good. Our proud sponsor, West Creek. Manuel Pena coming in. 0 for 1 a flyout. Got to say, a perfectly good deal. As we get in, the 0-1 delivery. And that is chopped foul. The count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. 7th strikeout for Eric Yost. And boy, doing pretty good of this evening. Ryan Waldschmidt coming in now. As he's going to hit that one. Bash to left field. And that is gone. Waldschmidt getting that one. And it is now a 2-1 ball game here in the top of the fourth inning. Pretty good way of getting things going. And you look at the slow motion. Boy, that one was a 92.4 mile per hour exit velocity. And so far, pretty good on that. 6-hole batter is A.J. Vukovic. As he comes in, and he's going to hit that one high in the air, straightaway left field. And the left fielder, Kai Murphy, will take it himself. Ryan Waldschmidt gets a RBI solo shot home run. And that will put the Sod Poodles to a 2-1 advantage against San Antonio. And we're going now to the bottom of the fourth. And Amarillo leads it by 1. 2-1 our score as we go to the fourth for San Antonio. Well, if you're enjoying this ball game and our doubleheader broadcast, we want you to come back tomorrow and enjoy Thursday night baseball Flying Chanclas Taco Bell Value Night. As we take on the Amarillo Sod Poodles, just a good way to continue to get something going. Well, Military Appreciation Night here at the ballpark on a Wednesday night, and gotta say, gonna be a pretty good one. About set to go for the bottom half of the fourth inning for San Antonio. Coming up next on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. And also, we give our shout-outs to the San Antonio Police Department and our first responders that keep us safe. So far, we thank West Creek Trail Rides and our San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo and many others that are proud sponsors of the Missions Baseball Group. About set to go for the bottom of the fourth inning, and here is Ethan Salas. We'll also have our viewers to thank for. Thank every single one of you for coming in. 1 ball and no strikes, and that is right there. Ground ball straight away up the first, and they take it themselves for the out. Romeo Sanabria coming in. Oh for 1 strikeout last time up. Top of the 8th, Corpus Christi leading Arkansas 4-1. They're at All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Wichita leads a run ahead of Northwest Arkansas 8-7. Gotta say, that is pretty good. And up to the shortstop will make the play for out number 2. Amarillo leading 2-1 in this game. Braden Carpathios coming up now, trying to be the tying run in this broadcast. And that is a strike, and the count now 0-1. So they're going to contest that. And it is upheld. It shouldn't be upheld, but evidently that could have been called a ball in my opinion. But most evidently, the home plate umpire didn't think so, so basically it will be called a strike. Right there, straight away to center field. That's a base hit as Braden Carpathios gets in.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Albert Fabian.
Well, that'll bring up Albert Fabian, the 6-hole batter. Bottom of 4. And that is going to be in for a strike. The count now 0-1. Boy, Frisco leading a 3-run ball game there at Statesman's Park against Tulsa. A 6-3 Frisco. A pretty good night there at a beautiful night. Boy, where did that come from? Yeah, what type of music is that? You should be using that for the Flying Chanclas tomorrow night. I like the salsa, boy. That is fouled in the way. The count now 1-2. Here's the pitch, and that is fouled off. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on, or should I say 1 runner on. Two, here he comes. And that's going to be lofted high in the air, straightaway left field, and they will make the play. And that ends the inning. Amarillo holds on to a 1-run lead against San Antonio as we head to the 5th inning. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on for the Missions. And we head for the fifth inning as we get ready to go. Batter is Jose Fernandez. He'll lead us off in the top of the fifth inning when we come back. About set to go for the top half of the fifth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Jose Fernandez coming in as we lead off the top of the fifth inning for Amarillo. And the pitch, that is gloved by the third baseman. Man, he's got a cat-like reflex. Man, and you look at Verdugo, that guy can really pay attention. Yeah, I bet he paid attention at the batters meeting. He's really keeping an eye and close tabs on the baseball that comes before him. Here's Denzel Lewis as he'll take a strike inside. It's the count now at 0-1. 2-1 ball game. Amarillo in front, top of the fifth inning. Game 2 almost to the end, and Denzel Lewis is going to call that. So, yeah, I think Denzel was right. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ball.
And the ball's down and in for the count now 2-1. Stadium lights come in full effect on this Wednesday night. Even though we are playing 2 7-inning games, this is game 2 that we are on. Don't forget we give our shout outs up there to Texas Barbecue, new to the San Antonio Missions. And right there, called third strike. And, yeah, so Denzel was right for a second time to argue that. So far he did. He got it right on target. And right there, strikeout looking. The 8th for this man. And that is out number 2. That'll bring up Christian Serta. Serta coming in, and he's going to hit that one high in the air, straightaway left center. And that will do for this half inning. So no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Amarillo as we head now to the bottom of the 5th on this Wednesday night. Sod Poodles in front by 1. It's 2-1. The third baseman, Rosemond Verdugo, will lead it off as we get ready to go for the bottom of the 5th. Now set to go for the bottom of the fifth right now. The Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Rosamond Verdugo coming in now as they lead off the bottom half of the fifth inning. The strike inside as the count now 0-1. Jarvis and Dubin coming in. And a pitch, and that's going to be right there. Line drive, that's a base hit. Going to first, going to second. And Verdugo has a double. And he is the tying run that could get something going for the San Antonio Missions. That'll bring up left fielder Kai Murphy. And before that happens, well, the manager for Amarillo is going to come out. And that's going to do for the starter here tonight. Bryce Jarvis, a right-hander, will get the ball from the manager as he'll pitch in relief for the Sod Poodles. ERA 573, 21-4 strikeout rate, 300.239 as he comes in for Amarillo. The left fielder, Kai Murphy, will greet him face-to-face. That one down and in for a ball. The count now 1-0. Evening baseball here in San Antonio, and gotta say, first game went by pretty quick. This game for sure will go by pretty quick. Yeah, I gotta say, John, it absolutely will. Well, the count now 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Runner at second. And that is a called strike. One ball, 2 strikes to Murphy. And the pitch. That is a ground ball straight away. Up to first in time. And that will move the runner from second to third. And now the tying run for San Antonio is only 90 feet away. Marcos Castañon coming in. So far, a pretty good one indeed here this evening. That one down and in for the ball. The count now, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, they are hopefully seeing if Bryce Jarvis is okay, but evidently the mound looking pretty good as well. That one's going to be high in the air straight away. Not in time, as that will not get far enough for the runner to advance. And so far, Amarillo still holds on to a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Francisco Acuna leading it here in this one. And a pitch, and that's in for a strike. The count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to the shortstop here today. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And here's the pitch. He's going to bunt his way. And right in time, as they will get him by a few inches shy of first. And with that, the side is retired. 2 more innings ready to go as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Amarillo holds a 2-1 lead here in this one. Well, we're looking at the 3 runs tonight here in this broadcast. Both sides contributing well towards those runs, and so far a pretty good one. Don't forget, Flying Chanclas will be coming tomorrow. Always a good thing as we get set to go here in this week against Amarillo. Sixth inning, it's 2-1 here as we'll get ready to go to the top half of the sixth inning with Jack Hurley, Ortiz, and Soretti leading us off here for the top half of the sixth inning. Be right back to Missions Baseball here in South Texas. It's 2-1 Amarillo. Now set to go for the top half of the sixth inning right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Welcome back, everybody, as we had a pretty good, sizable break. And we are back at it to give you going the top half of the sixth inning. Jack Hurley coming in.
Strike!
And that's in for a strike. The count now 0-1. 6-6 tied. Top of the seventh inning there against the Tulsa Drillers. Boy, tell you one thing, those Drillers, they're coming back. Just a pretty good, sizable lead and a tied ball game there at Statesman's Park. Amarillo leading 2-1 here in this ball game, and that is fouled off. The count now still hanging on. No balls, two strikes. Corpus Christi has a good ball game there in Arkansas brewing up. All-American Ballpark in North Little Rock, Arkansas. There's the 0-2. And that is fouled in the way. The count now 0-2. So far, as we all know, that the month of June, I do believe, is when we'll hit the Corpus Christi for a leadoff 6. And then we'll get ready to head to Arkansas for 6. That means we'll spend 2 weeks away from home. So basically a long 12 days away from San Antonio. Oh, had a base hit, and now here is Angel Ortiz.
No!
And the curveball is outside. The count now 1 ball and no strikes. 1-for-2 single here tonight. 1-0 delivery, and that is going to be found. The count now at 1-1. Amarillo 2, San Antonio 1. Top of the sixth inning. That's going to be right there. The second for 1. And they got him a Taco Bell double play. And how do you like that? That was spot on, spectacular right there. Amarillo down to their final 4 outs. San Antonio down to their final 3. High in the air, and that's going to get foul. And the count now 0-1. 1-for-2 single RBI by Danny Soretti. Wind up and the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. After tonight, we'll have 4 games left with Amarillo, and then it'll be on our way getting on to Oklahoma to go take on Tulsa for the last 6 times of the year. And right there, called third strike, and that will be out number 3. The side is retired. So no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody, or should I say 1 run, 1 runner left on a hit. So correct myself. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left for Amarillo. And we head out to the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Sod Poodles in front, 2-1. Now set to go for the bottom of the sixth. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Sean Dubin coming in now. ERA 5.08. Strikeout 19.3. 328 over a 243. As we get you going for the bottom half of the sixth inning. Starting to get dark out, but we still have a few more innings left to do. Or should I say, about one full inning. And that's going to be right there, line drive, and that is out of play, foul. And the count now 0-2. Amarillo might have a pretty good chance of getting this ball game in their favor. We can win a split. That one is skied high in the air, straightaway center, and that is out number one. 9:19 on this Wednesday night. And that'll bring in Ethan Salas. 0 for 2, a line out and a ground out. So far, 2 games that went 7 innings here today. We started around 4 o'clock and then we got in. And we had a pretty good time. Right, Bob? Yeah, I got to say, John, we absolutely did. Oh, we're going to have another good time tonight. And, well, tomorrow night, I should say. Where you at, Bob? La La Land? No.
Ball inside.
Well, that is outside. The count now 2-1. Ethan Salas is 0 for 2, isn't he? Man, he sure is. But anyway, join us tomorrow night. Our first pitch at 7:05. San Antonio dressed up as the Flying Chanclas for the second time this season. Both Thursday and Friday night games. Saturday, we'll have our post-game fireworks presented by West Creek Trail Rides and Dr. Pepper.
Now batting, first baseman,
Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman coming in, is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Man, just a beautiful, partly cloudy evening, but clouds will become more and more as we get up on a Thursday morning to head to work. Romeo Sanabria coming in the count now 0-1. Here is the 0-1, and that's going to be back up the middle, a liner straightaway up to center field for the base hit. Or pretty productive ground ball gets it going. Well, that base hit pretty well executed for Romeo Sanabria. That is for sure. Here is Braden Carpathios, 1 for 2 single. Oh. Just love a good Dr. Pepper. What about you? Oh, I go for the diet Dr. Pepper because evidently I'm old. I'm not like you, and you know, I used to drink Dr. Pepper a lot of times going on, and having a pretty good time about that. Oh, that is for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The last out for San Antonio. And the pitch. That is going to be right there, line drive, and up to second. And that will put the inning to bed as we now head to the 7th inning. Amarillo out in front. It's 2-1 Sod Poodles as we head to the 7th inning. So it'll be our last inning. Manuel Pena will lead it off here tonight. Corpus Christi leading 7-1, and believe it or not, I think that game could definitely get called for the Corpus Christi Hooks. And so far, Corpus Christi now getting up 9-8. So they will take the second place position. And yeah, they are the first team that will trail Midland 3.5 games back. So that would put Frisco at third place. San Antonio still holding fourth, but anywho, that could be a real game changer if it gets going for San Antonio. Evidently pretty good as Corpus Christi getting their game there in Arkansas. So, yeah, pretty good game. Now 6-11 for the Arkansas Travelers. So far, it's a tight ball game there in Frisco. It is starting to become really good. I mean, for Amarillo and San Antonio, Tulsa and Frisco, and gotta say, pretty good. One more inning of the night for these two ball clubs, and so far we've already played 13 innings. We are getting ready for the 14th and final inning of the night. And so far, just happy that you came along and enjoyed your evening with two back-to-back ball games. And we've had a pretty good time thus far. It was just awesome. Absolutely love baseball. But anyway, we will definitely get ready to go as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. When we come back here in Texas League Baseball, Amarillo leading it 2-1. And so far, we'll go ahead and give you some scores. Corpus Christi, oh yeah, they look like they've already called that ball game. So it is the Hooks winning against Arkansas by the final score of 7-1. I say again, Corpus Christi winning that game against Arkansas 7-1. We continuously have our two doubleheader teams, Tulsa and Frisco, tied at 6-6. And then Amarillo is a 2-1 score here in San Antonio. Wichita leading Northwest Arkansas 9-7. Which that is pretty good. Just coming good and getting ready to go on that one. Don't forget, we are back live tomorrow night. Flying Chanclas for Thursday and Friday. Saturday, post-game fireworks. And Sunday is Bark in the Park, presented by our pet supply places, which that right there is going to be very well indeed. Well, anyway, gotta say, bottom half of the 8th inning for Northwest Arkansas, and they called a automatic strike on the last play. And so far, pretty nasty on that one. All right, so we head to the top. Oh, excuse me. I do apologize about that. We head to the top half of the 7th inning as Manuel Pena lean it off for Amarillo. Get things ready to go. Here is the pitch by Eric Yost, and we are underway the last half inning. Should I say one more inning? We do play a big full 7 inning. That is high in the air. Right there in time is the right fielder Carpathios, as he will make the play for the out. Gotta say, it has just been really good. And so far, just look at that. Look at that tiebreaker. That was pretty interesting when we all looked at it. That's right there. Line drive straightaway left field, and that's a base hit by Ryan Waldschmidt. Waldschmidt is pretty good. He's hit pretty good during their series against Northwest Arkansas. And so far, pretty good. That one is high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. A.J. Vukovich. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. San Antonio trying to avoid another run. They're going to try to keep the deficit right where it is and see if they could get back to winning this one and win a series sweep against Amarillo. That one is foul, and the count now at 1-2. 1-2. And right there, the second for 1. And Taco Bell relay, a double play. And that will end the inning. Beautiful shot at San Antonio. And our first base area as the sun goes down and we head for the bottom of the 7th. So get up a stretch. And it is our one and only stretch inning as we get ready for the bottom of the 7th. Amarillo leading it 2-1 as we head for the bottom of the San Antonio 7th inning. So, yeah, get up a stretch. It's stretch time here at the ballpark. About set to go for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Right now, the Mission's Baseball Network. Thank you, Bob. Derek Law coming in now. ERA 260. Strikeout 20.8%. 273 over a 197. Last year in games, he's been 75 for the Sod Poodles. Law now pitching for Amarillo. 6, 7, and 8 due up. Leading it off is Albert Fabian. As he'll miss outside for a ball. The count now 1-0. It's a one-run ball game here in this one. One ball, one strike.
That's up, ball 2.
And that is ball 2. The count now 2-1.
That's down.
And that is downstairs for ball 3, so the count now 3-1. Rosamond Verdugo coming on as he'll get ready to go, and that is a full count. At 3 balls and 2 strikes. And right there is a called strike. And Fabian is going to see where that was, and evidently the call is upheld. Strike 3 is the right answer for that. Rosamond Verdugo coming in. 1 for 2 of the 9th. And the pitch is in for the strike. Gets the count now at 0-1. The pitch.
Ball, no.
And that is downstairs for the count now 1-1. And we're going to do a little timeout as he'll get in and get something going. One out. And that's down and in, and the count now at 1-2. And the slider is downstairs, and the count now 2-2. That's a ground ball chopper, straightaway third, in time, and that's out number 2. Well, San Antonio's got one more chance to get something going, and that'll bring up left fielder Kai Murphy. Join us tomorrow. Flying Chancla is taking on the Sod Poodles. First pitch 7:05 for Thursday. And that is going to be pretty good to get going. 1 out remaining. Kai Murphy, the last man up for San Antonio. Liner straightaway. That's a base hit. And I gotta say, pretty good. At the bottom of the 7th inning, San Antonio just trailing by a run. Amarillo up ahead by the run. And that's going to be Marcos Castañon. He'll take a ball high and outside as 1 ball and no strikes. And we'll go ahead and do a timeout as he'll try to get back in and get his stance ready. 2 outs, runner at first, and that's in for a strike. And the count now at 1-1. San Antonio trying to come back in this one, but most evidently they probably may not. And the pitch. And called third strike. They got him. And Amarillo wins it by a run. And the festivities of today is over. So Amarillo gets their 6th. And San Antonio claims their 9th loss of the season. So yeah, pretty good in that one. So far, it has been a pretty good day. And that will do for our 2 games here in San Antonio. And so far, we've enjoyed the double of what we had here today. Ooh, man, it looks like the Tulsa Drillers may get the win in Frisco, as it's a 12-6 ball game, and so far Frisco has 6 more outs to get. They'll have the top half or bottom half of the 8th and 9th innings to get something going, and so far pretty good on that. Well, let's see. Wichita 9-9, and the Wind Surge 9, Northwest Arkansas 7. And I do believe they're fixing to call their ball game. But evidently, we are still waiting to see what goes on in that one. So yeah, it was a pretty good night here in San Antonio, and so far Mission's got a win and Amarillo got a win. It's a win-win for both these teams. But most evidently, it was a pretty good afternoon, evening. Well, the whole 9 yards, it was a pretty good one. The final score 2-1 as Amarillo wins this one in game 2, and the first of San Antonio getting the first game, which that was also a pretty good one. All right, so it looks like Drillers will claim a 13th if they beat Frisco, and most definitely we will see what's going on there at Statesman's Park just to see. Yeah, so 12-6 ball game. The Rough Riders getting going on that one. But most evidently, these 2 ball clubs, a North and South Division team, is really good. We'll see what's going on. Northwest Arkansas is down to their final 3 outs as they go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 9-7 Wind Surge. And got to say, pretty good on that. We are 9:44 in the evening as we wrap up a broadcast. We started at 4 o'clock. So, yeah, we've had about, let's see, all the way, we've had about 5 hours worth of baseball time here tonight. And so far, that was a pretty good one. Well, anyway, yeah, so we still have our 4 ball clubs going. And it looks like Northwest Arkansas just lost out. And Wichita will claim their 9th in beating Northwest Arkansas. So the final score, Wichita 9, Northwest Arkansas 7. And got to say, that was a pretty good game there in Blue River Stadium. Got to say, we haven't been to Blue River Stadium since 2022. Most evidently, that's been a long time since we've actually been there. But so far, we don't go there this year, and so far, maybe next year, we might just get lucky if San Antonio will actually get to go to Northwest Arkansas. Yeah, I got to say, John, that would be really cool if San Antonio can actually go and have a pretty good road travel up to Northwest Arkansas. I mean, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, it sure would be. But anyway, our final score 2-1 as Amarillo wins game 2, and so far San Antonio winning the first game in the final score 5-1, and Sod Poodles winning 2-1 as we call it a night. But glad we got done with the doubleheader, which that right there was pretty good so far. Everybody had a pretty good evening thus far. Yeah, anyway, we'll go ahead and see what we got in our thumbnails. Probably going to have to go in, pull the thumbnail, and so far, yeah, that most definitely would work. And then we could go ahead and get something going. But anyway, yep, tomorrow, Thursday night baseball between the two ball clubs. And gotta say, it will be a pretty good one as we get ready to have a pretty good night tomorrow. And yes, we're going to be back to normal tomorrow with our normal 9 innings. And so far, pretty good. Well, anyway, got to thank our proud sponsors tonight. And so far, we're just happy that we came live at 4 o'clock to give you the best baseball that we have. And yes, again, we apologize for the cancellation on Tuesday, which evidently I know Mother Nature was not at her best, as literally we had the rain coming down and it was just coming down heavy. But anyway, gotta say, it was one of those days. The grounds were wet and all types of stuff. But anyway, do believe it or not, the top half of the 9th inning there in Frisco, the Drillers and oh, okay, so they finish it a 12-6. So, yeah, never mind. It was a final score of 12-6. So they go extra innings and then, well, they go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. So basically they got 15 innings tonight. So that tells you one thing, that Frisco will not get to a second place position anytime soon. They would have to get 2 wins against Corpus Christi. And so far, yeah, that would be a real butt kicker if you find that out real good. Well, anyway, glad that y'all have joined us tonight. It was a pretty good time. And so far, join us as we come back tomorrow evening. And our first pitch is at 7:05. And yeah, we're going back to 9 innings tomorrow. So pretty good on that. Well, anyway, we'll give you final scores. San Antonio, game 1, 5-1. Game 2, 2-1 as Sod Poodles take the win. Final score from Frisco 2 times. Drillers 12-6. And Drillers 5-0 as they swept the Frisco Rough Riders twice in one evening. Midland had a day game against Springfield 7-1 as they defeat the Cardinals. Corpus Christi at Arkansas 7-1 and Wichita beating Northwest Arkansas by a final score 9-7. Well, I guess that's Wednesday night baseball. We thank y'all for coming in and enjoying your evening with us. But yeah, we're going to do this again tomorrow night. So we can't wait to see y'all. So y'all have a good night, and also safe travels home. So y'all have a good night.